We are here to make this opera, and remember, first of all, you need to have established your priorities. Who are you performing this for? Because when you know who you are performing this for, that's going to give you the impulse you need. I'm going to tell you for whom I am performing for. So every time I'm on stage, I'm performing first of all for God. Because I believe for me, music is a gift from her. So everything I do, on stage and on live, I think it's for her. Second, I perform for myself. It was a long and hard journey for me to be here today. It was not easy. Third, I perform for you because I believe sharing stage with a group of people, it's an honor and a privilege. And I believe you all deserve the best I can deliver. Fourth, I'm performing for the friends who are coming. I have Janet, who is coming from Maine, because I'm doing this. I have a friend who is coming from Germany, because I'm doing this. I have two friends who are coming from Hungary, because I'm doing this. So I'm performing in fourth place for them. And in fifth, I'm performing this for the audience. I don't know who is coming, I don't know where they are coming from, but I do know why they are coming. They want to see what I prepared. So they also deserve it. So every time I step on a stage, that's what I have in mind. So try to establish yourself, your priorities to whom you are performing, and always think, it doesn't matter if we have one person sitting there, if you have full house, you always deliver with the same commitment. And I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much.
I'm Dr. Nevton Barros. I am the Director of Choral and Vocal Activities at Colby College, and I'm at the Leopold's Castle in Salzburg, Austria, leading a Gen plan with 14 students from Colby. Our class is called Die Musik, a celebration of Mozart's music written for opera. So the combination of the project is an opera workshop.
Sometime towards the end of last year, Dr. Barros and I were just having like a casual conversation in his office or something, and he mentioned the course. At that point, I didn't like expect anything to happen. Like he was just like saying, oh, well, we want to take like Collegium to Austria. That plan didn't end up going through, but then they told him that he can create a course, a different course, to have a class in Austria, and it could be whatever he'd like.
Usually when you have a class of an opera workshop, which basically what this class is offered to students who are taking voice lessons and who had some opera experience, had been singing opera in their voice studios and had been working on some numbers from opera. But this class, none of those students had any experience with opera before. And opera is a very unique form of art. And I know several people who love music and who love performing, but did not like opera.
Yeah, so to be honest, I'm more kind of like a pop person, and when I was working with Dr. Barros last year, we mainly focus on musical because it's more like my strength, and I have always been trying to avoid classical music as much as possible because I didn't feel comfortable doing it at all. So I came here with like very little confidence of myself.
When I was offered by Kobe College to teach this gen plan here. And I said, this must be about Mozart because I'm a musician. And Mozart was born in Salzburg in January. So I've decided to shape the whole class around Mozart. It's a class of music history, performance practices. We had a chance to go to Vienna on a weekend to visit places which are important during Mozart's life and watch a production of Don Giovanni at the Vienna Opera House. Tonight we are going to watch La Clemenza di Tito at the Salzburg Mozart Festival, which happens every January. We also had a chance to watch together the movie Amadeus and discuss what is fact and what is fiction. It has been a beautiful experience visiting the cathedral here in Salzburg where he worked. We visit the church where was his funeral in Vienna. We visit the cemetery where he's buried in Vienna. I would say ironic because he hated the city. He did not have a good time here. He hated Salzburg, and today he is the main source of income of the city. So it's an irony of destiny.
I've never really liked Mozart's music. I had to play it because it's like part of the classical repertoire. But I never really got into Mozart's music until I played, I think it was K475. It was a Mozart fantasy. But then that piece is unique because when you think of Mozart, you think of something very simple, nothing too crazy, not too many dynamic changes, nothing very much like Rachmaninoff. But that piece was very much like it was from the Romantic period. So that opened my eyes into a different aspect of Mozart. Not just the thing we hear when elementary students play, but then something that's more sophisticated than that.
I didn't have a ton of experience with that, if I'm going to be 100% honest. Like, I've heard, his biggest songs. I've been familiar with some of his operas before, like, on name value. But all honesty, before coming to Colby, I was not the biggest classical music guy. Like, I never listened to classical music or operas or anything like that. And even on my first semester, like, sang some with the choir and stuff like that. But getting here, I really have been able to appreciate how talented he was and how good his stuff, like his music is, his movements, his operas are all phenomenal and groundbreaking for the time.
Well, before, believe it or not, I've never actually known that he'd actually written operas. Yeah. Because I was only introduced to his classical piano music and all that. But really getting to see his life through these items of work, through these operas, I've definitely got to know who he was as a person better. Yeah. Getting to see the things that he struggled with, the issues that he dealt with at such a young age too. It seems like I was set on a more personal basis with this composer that I've heard of and I've known of for quite some time, but at the same time I didn't. Yeah. So just getting to dive more into things that he created and that were a bigger part of his life.
In terms of being in Salzburg, it feels surreal knowing that not just Mozart, but great conductors like Herbert Karajan and all these musicians were born in this city and they grew up in this city. So that feels very surreal. And it's also nice knowing that there's a music college downtown. It's like one of the best music schools in the world. And whenever I'm just walking there, I see everyone with their violin cases and people walking around. There's music stores everywhere.
I love to romanticize my life, and this is the perfect place to do it, I think. And I love that we're like incorporating music into it. I love that we're learning about Mozart. It's just, I don't know, it's the best thing ever.
So to be honest, I thought that this Gen plan is going to be like a really chill class, like we're going to travel most of the time, and we're just in Austria for fun. But then when I came here, I felt like, we have a performance to put together and everyone took it really seriously. Everyone put a lot of effort into it. We still have the time to travel around, to explore Salzburg, to explore Austria, but we also have a lot of time to like practice music and like improve my musical skills, which is a really good opportunity for me.
For me, music was definitely the hardest thing. You know, staying motivated when you're in this beautiful place and there's so much to do and explore is really tough, because you know you need to practice something, but you also want to go to the restaurant, and you also want to go to that, you know, that store that you saw and explore downtown or whatever it may be, and just like looking outside and sitting on the bench like for hours. So I think staying motivated to really push through the hard work that is needed to be done to have a show like this was definitely my biggest challenge. I think I know I'm not the most musically talented person here, so I know I needed to work a lot harder to get to the level of everybody else.
Something else has been just, you know, learning the music and trying to keep up with everything, because I feel like he holds us all to like a really high standard in hopes that like we're all going to do our best, you know? And I think that he wants us to do our best, not that unachievable goal, which has been hard to kind of realize, because it'll be like, oh yeah, memorize your music immediately. And then you'll like put in a lot of work and you're not quite there. But the thing is that without him setting that goal, you wouldn't have put in all that work. You know what I mean?
Well, I think this is the same for all music or specifically vocal instructors. They expect the accompanist to be fully prepared for the lesson, which I think is reasonable, because during the lesson, you need to focus on the singers, make sure you can comment on their playing. But when the accompanist is messing up, that becomes more difficult, because now you need to actually make sure the accompanist is playing well, and then you can give comments to the singers. So just the stress from that, I think, was the biggest difficulty. And like I said, some pieces, some songs, the tempo that I practiced with was not even near the tempo that the instructor actually wanted. So I had to make a lot of changes. And I would sometimes know that he prefers the faster tempo on the day or like 10 minutes before the lesson. So in that case, I would have to improvise to make sure that the singers are having the best experience.
I love the fact that the students, they just believed the project. I would say even more than I did. After I finished the first week, I was really in doubt if I probably should have a plan. It is not going to work as I thought. And the students surprised me. When I gave them my feedback, I would say that's what you need to worry about. That's what you need to focus on. I don't know when they found time for that, but they would find time and work what I told them to work on. And they accomplished what was expected from them. I'm truly humbled by leading this group of brilliant students, because it has been an amazing experience.
It was like, oh my gosh, I did like 6 days straight of just like constantly learning the music. And then we had that one day where we all just sat on the couches for like 6 hours straight, just chilling and playing games and eating. I didn't study music at all that day. That was when I realized it was actually kind of taking a toll, that it's been exhausting, even though I like it so much.
I think Dr. Barr said it. It's like opera is one of those forms of entertainment where you go in already knowing everything. And that's kind of rough now. If you do anything kind of off, there will be more people who will notice it.
1 and 2 and... Was mag immer sein,
den ersten Glöckchen tönen,
wenn ich jetzt von spielen können.
Oh God,
That's a little late.
yeah.
And this is very rhythmic. You need to keep that tempo. Same place. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So that word is man.
Manner.
Yes, you are complicating it too much.
I know, I made it, yeah.
Do I do Weiber? And now what? Weiber. So from your solo, this is a measure 6.
1, 2. DC.
That's right.
1, 2. Diesen Triebe mich zu führen, ist dann der Weiber.
I did it again. I'm so working it over and over with pronunciation doesn't work. I have to practice on my own. I already wrote it in.
You got it.
It makes no difference. I'll have to do it on my own over and over again.
But if you're doing on your own, wrong and wrong again, you're just fixing. That's why when you're with me, I have to stop you and correct you.
Yeah, but it doesn't make a difference if it's with you or not. I'm just so bad at pronunciation. I just have to do it like so many times to get it right.
It doesn't really matter how big the audience is or how big the stage is. The point is that we're getting together and we're making music. And at the end of the day, like, even if there's not a lot of people here in Salzburg, like, whoever comes to see it, they don't know who we are, they don't know us. Like, there's still going to be a recording for friends and family. And when we do perform it at Colby, the audience will definitely be bigger. So I'm sure some people will be there, but it's less about the audience and more about the experience of learning and making music together.
I don't actually expect the performance to be like a very big one, like a crazy one with a lot of audience. I feel like it's more about us putting something together and growing together and like improving our musical skills. So I hope that at the end of the class we can put together a performance that we can be proud of when we talk about it later. And then we bond along the way and we have a good experience like learning music together.
I have no fear that we're not going to figure it out. Like, I know everything's going to be all right. I know the show's going to be amazing because everyone here is putting in a lot of work, and that's all you need to put on a really great show.
I have been your age, I have been where you are. Before performing my very first opera, I know how you are all feeling. You are feeling that you are not prepared, you are feeling frustrated, you are feeling that I need 1 week more, and I don't. So I know exactly what you are how you are feeling right now. So I'm going to give you an extra assignment for this afternoon evening. You are going to be very attentive to beauty around you. Look for beautiful things, for beautiful faces, for beautiful hands. Look for beauty around you. When you see something beautiful, you are going to take a picture. And you are going to share that picture in the group chat and tell us why you found that beautiful. Okay? So this is the extra assignment for today. With Alena staying your life. And you three get so surprised that they have been there all the time. Like, they make it like a very theatrical surprise. So, run. Action.
Because he owes me some money, and unless he pays me by the end of this week, he is going to be my date to some social events, so he has no time for you.
Should I like resist or just like go with her?
You know you cannot resist.
That's crazy.
Okay, yeah, so you are here.
Alto, alto, signor Conte.
Coppola, just look there. So at this point, you both point there to give her attention. So from Mercedes again.
I'm a computer science major, and music doesn't have a lot to do with like my actual career path. But I mean, we're going to a liberal arts college, and the goal is like to grow holistically instead of just focusing on like one particular subject. So I feel like this has been a really good learning experience for me, because not that I'm only like expanding my musical skills and like learn more about music theory, about how to use my voice, how to sing in like a healthy way. I also learned how to like work with people in a group and how to collaborate, how to like listen to other people and like trying to, because you know we do a lot of harmony in opera, and it's really hard to like separate your voice from others. And also my voice, I have a really soft voice, so it's really hard to make it like stand out. But at the same time, we also have to learn how to like make it blend in well with other people instead of like be the most outstanding person in the performance, you know.
I technically am a music major, and like I've done the classes, and like, but yeah, like I love it so much I like can't see my life without it. I always want to be able to do it in like some capacity in my life, like even if it's just on the side, like when I'm working, like whatever I end up doing, which I don't know what that'll be, but law, business, whatever. I have like my day job, but then I have my night job, which would be like music. Hopefully, ideally, that's like the dream.
See the students discovering through themselves what I'm trying to teach them. So I always say that in high school, the teacher tells you something and you accept it as the truth. It's like if your high school teacher told you, Earth is blue, and accept that, you don't question. But when you come to higher education, you have the power to question everything. I always tell my students, always ask the whys. Why are you asking me to do this assignment? Why are you telling me that this happened like this? Why are you telling me that I need to open more my mouth to sing a high note? Why do I need to? So it's, and when the student asks those questions and you discover the answers with the student, not giving the answer, but discovering with them, they just implode the knowledge, and so they can do whatever they want with their voice. So this process of discovery through themselves, their ability of doing unimaginable things with their voice, that's what excites me the most. As in any class I teach or any lesson I teach, my goal is always the same. It's that the student will take that subject, and even if they are not thinking about pursuing a professional career in the world of performing arts, what I want as my ultimate goal is for them to be better human beings. When you are performing, when you are on stage, you are sharing something very personal with people you probably do not know. And that can teach you so many things. And so yes, my ultimate goal is each one of them to become a better human being, aware of who are they, their true self, and the people, aware of the people who they are sharing the stage with, and aware of the world around them. If I can give my students more than just the music aspect of the class, I feel like we are where we should be.